I believe brand development is all about storytelling, and what LA is so unique at is we're the best storytellers in the world.
Nestled between the coast of Topanga Canyon and just west of downtown Los Angeles, I'm in Santa Monica. Like the name or not, this area is what some people are calling Silicon Beach, and it's one of the fastest growing tech cities in the US.
We're fortunate enough to be in the right place in the right time in this market that it's already growing, but it's set to explode.
Meet Royce Disini, co-founder and president of Mobcrush. Royce and team have built a live streaming app and community for mobile gamers. Mobcrush attracted lowercase capital as an early investor and raised follow-on rounds led by KPCB and Evolution Media. Royce is a San Francisco transplant, product visionary, and of course, a mobile gamer.
Gaming companies are actually around here, not too far from us. If you do a scan of like half a mile, 1 mile, all the top gaming companies are around this area as well. We're in the epicenter of mobile gaming, live streaming, and content creator entertainment. No other place, I think, would beat building that business than LA. We've been fortunate enough being techies ourselves that we started hiring the best people that we've known and worked with in the past. We've also been able to attract talent both from the Bay Area and other parts of the country to come to LA and join us in Mobcrush. So we've managed to build an A+ team across the board, and they tend to stay here, right? So once they're here, right, they're now part of the
Now they don't want to leave.
Yeah,
I've lost 2 brother-in-laws to this place. But it's great, I have a place to stay tonight.
You know, we've got a stated mission, and we're just super passionate about what we're doing. We have a vision of connecting the world's gamers, right? And when we started the company 2 years ago, there were about 1.2 billion mobile gamers globally. Over the next 12 months, there'll be 3 billion mobile gamers that be playing games like Minecraft and Vainglory with that supercomputer in their pocket. So I see us aligning our passion and our mission to connect all these mobile gamers in a community and a platform like Mobcrush to be able to watch each other play, have real-time communication, and build lasting relationships, because at the end of the day, we're connecting people, right? It just so happens that we're laser focused on this vertical for gaming.
Connecting these gamers together on a single platform is something that's never been done before, and it won't be an easy task. In order to make this happen, Mobcrush will need to focus on innovation.
There are values that we follow, right? And there are things that we believe in, and I believe in as a person, and innovation is one of them, right? And so we started the company because we innovated on solving for a problem that was really hard and condensed a 40-step process into 1 step. For us to win in the space and continue winning, it's not a one-time dip into the innovation pool. I think it's continuous innovation for everyone in the team. We embody that. Like, everything that we do is creating something new and different that hasn't been done before.
Every time I visit the offices of Upfront Ventures, making a stop at Wexler's Deli is a must. A new location for Wexler's in Santa Monica is where old school deli meets new school.
I believe brand development is all about storytelling, and what LA is so unique at is we're the best storytellers in the world. YouTube, based in the Bay Area, that has a huge office in Southern California. You have Netflix, Microsoft, and a lot through their gaming side here. Oh, and then by the way, there's a company called Disini.
Greg Bettinelli is a partner at Upfront Ventures. In a former life, Greg worked on the other side of capital, growing companies like eBay, Ticketmaster, Live Nation, and Hotlook. Now at Upfront Ventures, one of the most prominent VC groups in Southern California, Greg spends his time holistically investing in tech entrepreneurs.
Obviously, there's a lot going on in Southern California, and there really always has been.
Yeah.
Southern California was where all the airplanes were made and all the rockets were built, and all the satellites were created, and we still have that legacy, and you see that in interesting businesses. Well, the best of the best work at Google and engineering and Facebook teams, right? The best product marketing and marketing people were at eBay in the 2000s.
Which are not here.
They're not here, and so seeing how high performance cultures go, a lot of people in LA, or most people, hasn't ever experienced that before, so you don't know what great is until you've seen great.
Why is Santa Monica becoming the hub?
Well, you can look around, like it's like this every day. It's 72 to 75 degrees. Santa Monica is a lot of things coming together. So you have Venice, you have Culver City, you have a lot of the presence from the legacy companies based here, and it's arguably one of the greatest places to live in the world. So I think it kind of makes sense.
Where do you see LA tech scene like 10 years?
We're already the number 3 in the world, right? And I think we'll pass New York. You know, we will not be the Bay Area, nor should we be compared to the Bay Area. It's 10 times the activity here, but we can build very unique and special companies. And if you look at kind of the successful outcomes in Southern California over the past 5 years, it's more than resonating.
Beyond Greg's obvious understanding of the tech scene in Southern California, what I enjoy most about Greg is his passion for helping entrepreneurs and being purposeful to their journey.
The joke about venture capital is to get rich slowly. I totally see and understand, and I think it's arguably this even harder for the founders as well.
Yeah.
I tend to look at this as my entrepreneurial opportunity. So when I chose to come to Upfront Ventures, I was very bullish on where Los Angeles is going, and historically, I think from a venture capital perspective, the market was underserved. If we have all these successes with these companies, they're offshoots of those companies are going to breed great entrepreneurs. I could build a great business by helping nurture those entrepreneurs so they can be successful. There's an opportunity to build something special here. And instead of being the person who creates the company, maybe I can be that person who helps identify it and nurture it and fund it to success.
For more than half a century, the La Cienega Design Quarter has been the leading destination for quality design. This West Hollywood area is also home to Laurel and Wolfe.
Laurel is a tribute to Los Angeles because we're very proud of being an LA-based tech company. And so Laurel is actually in tribute to Laurel Canyon. We're right near Laurel Canyon and is like the heart of the interior design world. And then Wolfe is actually in tribute to the godmother of interior design, a woman named Elsie DeWolfe. So she went on record as being like the first ever professional interior designer in the early 1900s.
Laura Fine is the CEO and founder of Laurel and Wolfe. Originally from Alabama, now resides in Los Angeles and leads a fast-growing online interior design company, connecting clients and designers through a digital platform. Lara started Laurel and Wolfe from her dining room in 2014. 3 years later, she has a rapidly growing team of more than 60 employees and a marketplace of more than 1,000 interior designers.
I've really enjoyed being a part of the LA community, and I think it's also really diverse, right? We have a lot of commerce companies, we have SaaS companies, we have a lot of VR, we have media companies, SpaceX is here. So you have a really a great array of companies, and I think a pretty diverse group of founders as well. So West Hollywood is the heart of the interior design community in Los Angeles. So we're in an area called the LCDQ, which is the La Cienega Design Quarter. So if you notice, there's lots of shops up and down our street, Melrose Place, and then all up and down La Cienega that are high-end, interesting, whether it's antique furniture stores or upholsterers, lighting companies. And then we have the Pacific Design Center just a block away.
So you have an advantage of being in this location, even though you're bringing your business digitally
Exactly.
online.
I mean, we're not a brick and mortar business. We don't connect people in places. We're 100% digital service. But in terms of hosting events, for being a part of the ethos of the brand, being able to participate in events in the design community in Los Angeles, I think it gives us an advantage. And I think that LA is a city that is still, you know, really getting its footing as a tech stronghold, you know, and I think people always ask me, being in LA, is it hard to recruit good engineers? And the answer is, it's hard to recruit great engineers anywhere. I don't care if you're in San Francisco, you're in New York City, you're in Los
Yep.
Angeles. It's really hard to find.
There's a shortage of them.
There's just a shortage of great engineers,
Yep.
period. We actually graduate more engineers out of the universities in Los Angeles than any other city in America. We've just always typically lost them to Silicon Valley. There's a lot of young talent here. It's harder to find more senior engineering talent that's based in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So that's something like our new VP of engineering was the VP of engineering at OpenTable, and he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
He was based in San Francisco, and we were able to relocate him down to Los Angeles. You know, a lot of people were like, oh, aren't you worried about not being a part of Silicon Beach?
Yeah.
And I said, no, absolutely not, because I think it's actually going to be a lot easier because we're the most affordable of all the 3 major markets.
Yep.
We have great weather.
Yeah.
You know, you have space. You can
Yeah.
actually afford to have a yard. So I think we have a lot of things working for us.
Laurel Wolfe is not only disrupting the traditional model of interior design, but it's also providing growth to the industry by making design more accessible.
For us, it's about growing, you know, a global design brand. You know, we want to be the destination for designing the perfect space. And we see that as a big opportunity in the United States, where we're currently based, but we also see that as an incredible opportunity internationally. Even though the industry is already very large, it's still very nascent in terms of, you know, people kind of buy a chair here, a lamp there,
Yep.
but they're not thinking of it in the whole kind of 360
Holistic, yeah.
picture. So we believe that there is a much bigger industry to be built here. So for us, that means continuing to recruit and work with the best interior designers and to change people's daily life experiences through the power of great design.
When you have a business in Los Angeles in need of warehouse space, you don't need to go too far from the Port of Los Angeles. Compton, just south of the port, is rapidly emerging as a large industrial center with well-known warehouse capacity.
We took some risk and the brand just exploded and got very popular. It was an apparel brand called Von Dutch, which was the trucker cap phenomenon 10 years ago. And that was a big deal that our first client was so successful, and that was essentially our venture capital round.
Meet John Tomich, a co-founder and current chairman of the board of OneStop Internet. OneStop works with over 120 high-end retail brands, providing end-to-end digital commerce solutions. Or more simply put, those $300 pair of Juicy Couture jeans you bought online, OneStop is involved with every step in the process, from buying through delivery.
We provide our shopping cart architecture, and we will curate a bundle of third-party tools depending on the client. And then we'll handle the contracts with the service providers. It used to be, and still the case for a lot of retailers, where if you buy something on the website and then you maybe 6 months later go to the store and buy something, you might exist in 2 separate databases, right?
Yep.
Now they're combining those 2 things together.
Ah,
People outside that don't pay attention to this might not know it, but LA has a pretty deep, rich technology history. The Los Angeles University system might graduate more engineers than sort of any major city in the United States. In the beginning, we were near USC when we had, I think, 10,000 square feet, and then we needed 30,000 square feet, and then we moved to downtown, a little further away. The more space we got, the further away from the city center we got.
Okay.
And you know, here we're in the sort of north of like 100 to 200,000 square foot range. The city is has an entrepreneurial energy, maybe that comes from the movie industry.
Yep.
Where there's just a lot of new companies getting started. So it's you know, unlike maybe some more traditional kind of eastern cities where it's not as entrepreneurial, it's more sort of big company. You know, you graduate from college and you go and work in a big company.
Yeah.
I think in LA people think about startups. So everything that you see on the website is stuff that we actually have to shoot. When we onboard a client, we'll create a photography style guide. You know, what the look and feel is going to be. Are we going to use models? Are we going to shoot flat? Are we going to show the face on the models, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah.
And once we define that style guide with the client, we do all the execution here. And it's important that we actually do it on site at the same place that we have the sample items, so they can actually visually see the items that they're color correcting. Because oftentimes we'll have fashion brands that might have 10,000 SKUs. We built an in-house digital asset management tool that allows brands that aren't physically at the studio location to monitor shoots as they happen. There are 20 levers that we hit, like everybody does. Things like Facebook advertising or affiliate sites and paid search and email and so forth. We're very strategic. We sit down with our brand partners up front and plan out what we think a 12, 24, 36 month kind of pro forma of the business will look like based on dozens of different variables, whether it's marketing spend or conversion rate assumptions and how much product that we're getting and the inventory turns and so forth. And we'll run the business really as an extension of their organization.
Being in the right place at the right time fits the one-stop story. In this case, it's being close to the Los Angeles fashion industry and being at the forefront of digital commerce.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we have folks answering the phones for customers that actually call on behalf of the brands that we represent. We have various levels. There's first-tier support, second-tier support, live chat, email, phone, everything's SLA measured, service level agreement. So 80% of the calls answered within 20 seconds with an abandonment rate of less than 5%, things like that. How quickly they answer, how quickly they respond to emails.
Okay.
So every kind of communication that comes in is time-stamped and date-stamped, so we sort of measure the quantitative productivity of the reps, and then also we record calls. So qualitatively, we can get a sense of how they sound on the phone, and we can share that with the brands. I think high-end engineering talent, there's more to choose from in the Bay Area. I think there's no doubt about that, right? So if you're a company like, Palantir, which is doing sort of heavy sort of, PhD kind of analytics, algorithms, and you need to hire hundreds and hundreds of people, I think the Bay Area, you're going to have an advantage there. It's more expensive, but you're just going to be able to get up and running a lot faster.
Okay.
It depends on the business. Look, if you're a consumer products company, I don't think that you might have an advantage in LA, actually. E-commerce, I don't think that there's a disadvantage being in LA.
Downtown Los Angeles. A city center that found itself in decline a few decades ago is now experiencing a rebirth and home of over 500,000 jobs. The increase of startups can be seen by the growth in co-working spaces. Like here at Control Collective, where a variety of businesses are working and collaborating all under the same roof.
Right, when we start out, we want to be the Richard Branson, we want to be Elon Musk, and the thing is that they have their own circumstances and their own timing of everything, so if you can't replicate someone else's life, you can only create your own life. You could be inspired by and learn from others, but it's about creating your own path.
Meet Expree Devora, tech podcaster and founder of WeAreLATech. Being early to the tech scene here in Los Angeles, Expree saw the opportunity to build a company that brings the tech people together.
So I built WeAreLATech to unify the LA tech community. I built my tech company before there was any tech scene here, and we used to have backyard barbecues, and there were 15 to 20 of us, and then 30 of us. And there was a time in 2008 that we all fit into one photograph, all of LA tech. And so now that it's a sea of people in all these different areas, from downtown to Santa Monica to Pasadena to it's just everywhere. There's no unifying connector of all these areas for people just to feel that backyard vibe community. And so WeAreLATech is to simulate that backyard vibe feel. So we do events. I have an experience club where I do 8 to 10 life experiences a month: horseback riding, jetpack jumping, clay pigeon shooting. It's super fun. Go-kart racing. And then we do one major event a quarter, a huge movie screening. We did spotlighting LA female founders. Something just on a larger scale. And then we have a podcast that hit #2 in the country. That was amazing. And Alex Bloomberg from the Startup Podcast actually announces it. You're listening to WeAreLATech, which is really exciting. I'd like to think that we're collaborative. As a city, I have heard that we are, but I definitely look to make that happen. Part of the WeAreLATech culture code is we only want to kind of be all-inclusive of people who are all-inclusive, who believe in collaboration, who believe in mutually beneficial relationships. And so I see the world as a collaborative place, so I'd hope that everyone I attract in my sphere is collaborative. My favorite part in doing this is watching relationships be creative, to see that people are able to do amazing business deals because they were able to meet each other playing hockey or whatever crazy thing that I put together. That's my favorite part, getting to look at people's eyes and seeing if you're a part of WeAreLATech, you have an instantaneous rapport with someone you meet on the street just because you're a part of this thing and you believe in the same culture.
This isn't Expree's first business, and the success of WeAreLATech hasn't come without prior challenges. But those challenges have given Expree a Zen-like definition to what success can really mean.
I started the first action sports social network way before like MySpace.
Before the internet?
Yeah, I became an entrepreneur when I was a teenager. We would travel around and shoot Tony Hawk and Shaun White, and I like leveraged my credit cards to literally create a media company overnight. Like, it was a whole nother story for another day, but it made me everything that I am. It taught me that failure doesn't really mean failure, because like I didn't realize my vision with my action sports company, and for a while that just like crushed me because I wanted to be like the Google of action sports, and I didn't become the Google of action sports, so I'm like, I didn't make it. But I was the first female to raise money in the action sports industry. I built the first social network for the action sports industry. I built an amazing, passionate team that are still so like just in love with the brand. All those life experiences lended to who I am today, and without those life experiences, I wouldn't be who I am. And so even though it was hard to digest, every single one of them was a success. It's just I didn't understand that at the time. Male or female, I think the thing that holds anyone back the most is self-limiting beliefs. So as soon as we believe something is possible, that's the start of like opening up the doors to everything.